So in the last video, I demoed how to inflate the ball using a trusty spoon, a hand pump, and an electric pump, if you want it even easier. And so now we're looking for a 90-degree angle so that the ankle to knee, knee to hips is pretty level, and it should feel comfortable. You might notice that I have a chair here, and I have it for a reason. It's just to give me support and comfort. You can use a wall, but a chair works great. So, again, if I feel a little tippy, feel like I might fall over, just having this right here is perfect. And you could have the higher edge, or if you'd like, on the side, so you have a choice. And then you can place it here, just for fun. Okay, so let's begin. I love the mobility of the ball underneath me. I like to take a time and check in. Okay, who showed up today? Feel free to use a mat on the floor. I'm keeping it open so I have more room and flexibility to move around and show you different things. In some of our other videos, we learned as you round back, the spine is in flexion or forward bending movement. As you round forward, it's in an arch movement. And if there's some place in the middle, that's neutral. So we'll be playing, and I actually call this moving through neutral, because there'll be times you'll want to be back and forward and right in the center. Okay, so we're going to do a simple pelvic clock. We're going to move around. Imagine that there is a circle on the floor, a clock. And we're going to find that center point and at 12, and then we're going to move to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, just slowly moving around the clock. How do you know you're doing it right? Because it feels good. There should never be neck pain or back pain. Going around in the circle. Nice. And play with forward, going back, going forward, just having fun side to side. So I have them broken down into individual segments, both with the props, the instructions, and teaching cues. So you can get a real sense. They look so simple you wonder why, but they might have some important information, some subtleties that you'd like to learn, especially if you're a teacher. So we went in one clockwise direction, and now we're going to go in the other. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it might be the opposite for you, makes no difference which way you go. And then I'd like to do a figure 8 movement, kind of a figure 8. And I'll add an infinity movement, a sidewards 8. And moving around. You might even notice that as you start moving on the ball, it actually has a reaction up in your neck. So make sure the neck feels comfortable. And then notice that if you move your hands forward and back, it'll change it completely. If you feel wobbly at all, insecure about just being out here without any support, use your chair or the wall. Okay? In this particular series, you have to be far enough away from the wall behind you so you have room to move. Okay, so that's a simple pelvic clock. Let's do it one more time together, taking your time. Going to go forward and back, or back and forward. Just play with some movement. Each point on the clock, and breathe. Don't hold your breath. collecting your breath, inhaling comfortably and exhaling. I have many breathing videos to kind of introduce you to different breaths, but keep it easy. Some people like to inhale through their nose and exhale through their mouth or their nose. Whatever's most comfortable. Okay, so that's the pelvic clock. Simple. Figure eights, infinities, lots of different movements. And so now what we're going to do is a little hamstring stretch. Very similar. Move my feet a little farther forward. I'm going to fold from my hips and I'm going to fold over. So bending, forward bend, kind of find neutral so I'm not in flexion. Okay. So I'm not in flexion, the spine rounding, I'm not in extension. Just do it with me. I'm someplace in the middle. Remember, flexion, extension, middle. Fold right from the hips. Place my elbows on my thighs. Make sure you have enough room, so if you're quite pregnant, you might be pretty darn high here. And going backwards, stretching through the hamstrings, and coming forward. Heels digging down, press through the back of the legs, fold, and come forward. Again, if you're pretty pregnant, stay high, and we're looking for a hamstring stretch. Okay, and we're on the large ball, 75 centimeters. All right, so we did two things. We did the pelvic clock. We did the hamstring stretch. And now we're going to do a lovely movement. And one of my favorite ways to play with the ball and to really understand the power and mobility of it and how it really trains the body into new places and gives it new information is to place my hand right back in the center of my buttocks. Right on the heel of the hand is close to the buttocks and the fingers are facing downward. And you'll notice that as I roll the ball, I'm just going to do it with that back hand. And so actually it's just a lovely movement right here just to lengthen. And as that weight gets forward, ladies, you are going to wish that you had something to release that back. And this is it. As simple as this movement is just roll it back. Okay, so we're going to take another breath or two, just a simple movement. And here's where it gets a little bit more refined, teachers and ladies, moms. I have first trimester only, okay? And that's the first 3 months because I am the girl that errs on the side of caution and I really don't want to do much twisting going on. So you can place your hand on the same side of the hand that you're using and on the inside of the knee. You can place it for a little deeper twist on the outside of the knee. And I like to use that back hand to rock back and forth. And then I find that lovely spot that I'm going to settle in, use my breath. Let's start with the easier one. Just place my hand on the inside of the left hand is on my left thigh, knee, and going to slowly push against it slightly and rotate towards the center. Breathing, inhaling, and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. So there's a softening as I relax the diaphragm and I feel it breath coming in and going out. I soften my eyes, I spread the back of my head and I breathe. Easy. Okay, let's take the other side. Couple 3 or 4 breaths. Turn the video off if you want to stay longer. Place your hand on the back. Place your other hand on the knee. So there's a couple things. You can leave the knees parallel. It'll be one kind of a stretch. Or you can bring a simple movement that the right leg, now that I'm moving away from, is a little bit forward than the left. Placing down, hand against the inside of the knee, and breathe. First, again, I set the back hand and decide where I like it in my spine. Head over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. Feeling just a lovely traction with my hand moving away from the ball a little bit. Feels great using my breath and breathing. Okay, keep the head centered. Don't look one direction or the other. Inhale in and exhale. Inhale in and exhale. Okay, how do you know you're doing it right? Because it feels good. All right, so my recommendation is after the first trimester, you don't even have to do that one, and then I'll leave it up to you for your own discretion, and of course, always check in with your healthcare practitioner. All right, no neck pain, no back pain. This time we're going to do the same movement. We're going to change our hands a little bit. I'm going to put the hand on the outside. So there's more of a twist going on. It really is a rotation. So I like to think, especially for my pregnant moms, elongation and then rotation as opposed to twisting. All right, placing the hand on the outside of the knee this time, my left hand on my right knee. I'm going to take my right hand and put a little traction, lengthen, broaden my chest, keep my head centered, and breathe. Soften my eyes. So in the Yes Yoga system, we start out easy. We wait. All right, this is just listen, inquire. With every breath. So the breath will expand and create space on the inhalation, and on the exhalation, we'll move a little deeper. No pain, no restriction. Again, after the first trimester, you might want to just keep your hand on the other side or not at all. We're playing, having fun. Broaden the chest, keep the natural curves. No neck pain or back pain, and breathe. Okay, let's go to the other side. This time I'm going to bring one leg forward and one leg back, not keep it parallel, just for the demo. Place my hand back behind my buttocks. First I'm going to start easy, find my spot, and grow tall. Use the legs, heels of my hands to give me a little bit of movement from the legs up, head centered, chest broad, breathe. Inhale, exhale. Taking our time. The inhalation will expand the rib cage and chest, and the exhalation will allow you to go deeper. Soft, easy. Wait. Okay, come back. So a few moments ago we did the hamstring stretch. Let's do it again. Sort of like ironing it out. Each time I do a twist movement, I often in my regular classes, teaching the toolkit for others, I like to kind of sort of erase that movement and just lengthen out, moving, drawing my navel to the spine, using my exhalation again, pressing the back of my legs down. Notice I lift my heels up for a little bit more intensity. No neck pain, no back pain. The active movement is in the hamstrings, back at the thighs. Breathe. Constantly adjusting. The ball is alive and moving. Coming back. Okay. Next one. So 90 degrees, comfortable. Going to check in. Might do a pelvic circle. And a simple sideward stretch. I'm going to use my chair close by. Hand here on top, the side, and slowly stretching over and coming down. So finding that center, feeling the freedom, not forward or back, just right. And just right, you actually don't have to use your tummy muscles because everything is sort of aligned and stacked nicely. Bring your arm up. If it hurts for your arm, you have some shoulder plane. You can just bring your arm halfway into a half cactus and move over to the side and back again and higher. So once again, in this system, we're going to just wait. We're going to be patient. We're going to feel the length along the side ribs. We're going to adjust, allowing the lovely ball to do its magic, using the hand. And I might find that as I go to the side, I bend my elbow, having the support of my hand on the chair. A lovely side stretch. If you're very large, remember this is a pregnancy demo for you, then you might not go very far because you don't have a lot of space and you're just always looking to create some light space on one side and not too much on the other. Okay, instead of moving the chair from one side to the other, I'll show you what it looks like in the back. All right. So again, if I have any shoulder discomfort, first I'll adjust myself forward and back. And if I don't, I'll have a nice length. Maybe this is enough. Maybe this is all you want to do today. It's just nice and long. So you're lengthening your ribs, you're creating space. I found that spot in my, with the ball. So I've got that lovely place where there's a little bit of continuity and sensation in the abdominals, sort of toning and holding the pelvic floor, but I'm not over contracting. Okay. And then once again, nice and tall, and breathe. And then slowly, inhale, exhale. Don't go too far, wait. Use your exhalation to take you deeper. Be patient. If there's any discomfort, come right out. Breathe. Breathe. And come up. Okay. So, as you get bigger, it might feel a little more restricted on the side, so don't go low. Just stay pretty darn high, and it's just a long angular motion and coming back. Okay. Gonna do in between each one just for fun. Maybe this is the only thing you feel like doing is rounding and coming back. Making circles. And making circles in the other movement. Great. And just stretching. Maybe a hamstring stretch in the middle. Okay? So you get to play around and just have a good time. And how do you know you're doing it right? Because it feels good. Okay, so when I was pregnant, I did some Lamaze work. And one of the breaths that they gave me was the he-he-ho-ho breath. And I find on a ball, actually. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to practice he-he-ho-ho. He-he-ho-ho. So as those contractions happen, you want to be able to feel the pelvic floor and get a sense of it squeezing, contracting, and relaxing. And a breath. It's just like, okay, don't push yet, they may tell you, and just feel, all right? Just hold it. So it's he, ho, ho, he, ho, ho, he, ho, ho. So you see I have one hand on the chair, okay? And I have the other hand right in the center of my legs, and it's a gentle bounce. I also find that it feels good for the baby. It helps actually those kegels and a little bit of contraction and release. You might find that you'll have to turn the tape off and go to the ladies' room or go to the bathroom for a little bit because it does stimulate the bladder and it does press down. Okay? So just notice, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it, but it's the he-he-ho-ho breath, and it really is nice. Earlier in your pregnancy, I do another movement that it looks pretty similar, but it's not. And it's where I hold on again, make sure your chair is close by or the wall. I press down, I make a gentle fist, and I lift as if I'm going to pump and push you and come down. Inhale, exhaling, navel to the spine, and come down. So I'm looking to bend forward from my hips, reaching for my head, lifting off, and then reaching my tailbone, going down slowly. And I make it look very easy, but as the weight changes, it gets to be a little bit more challenging. And I'm from the school of thought that just a little bit of tone in the pelvic floor, except for maybe the last month, doesn't hurt. It actually helps lower back pain, and it is still accommodating the movement. I'm not asking you for really tight constriction, just a general sense of it still holding you up, okay? Forward and then down, forward and down. And if you feel like you're going to lose balance in any way, hold onto a wall or a chair and lift, and then come down and lift, breathing, and then come down. Inhaling, exhale, and inhaling back. Inhale, exhale, and inhaling back. And then again, making circles, checking in, seeing if that disturbed your lower back, then don't do it. And then this is sort of the erasing movement, sliding your thighs against the back of the ball, front of the ball, your hamstrings, back and forth, coming up to centered. Taking a moment to integrate the sensations in your body. The breath should not be anxious, it should be soft and sweet. Okay, thank you for joining me. There's a few other different sequences. One that I have some triangle poses and some side angles, and you'll find that we use the ball in a particular way that's fun. So come back and join us. Thanks so much, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Any questions, feel free to contact me at heidygmt@gmail.com or Yes Yoga Systems with an S.com. SYSTEMS. Thank you, and join us again.